Hello, this is Acid Boy and welcome to Tales of Acid Boy. In this video, I will be doing some experimentation with some US pennies. The solution here contained 3 post-1983 US pennies in 35% hydrochloric acid and a splash of hydrogen peroxide in order to hopefully catalyze the reaction, whatever that reaction is. The pennies have been in the solution for a few days now, like 2 to 3 days, and the zinc inside should mostly, if not entirely, be dissolved into the hydrochloric acid hydrogen peroxide solution. I decided to use post 1983 pennies because those are just copper plated and the zinc is on the inside. So for this next part here, I will be adding a penny where part of the copper plating is shaved off to expose the zinc, hoping that the zinc and hydrochloric acid will react in the fervor that they typically do. Do take note though of the blue deposits on the bottom of my beaker. I think that is some sort of copper precipitate. I don't know what of exactly. And also note the copper plating in the top middle part of the screen, and that is bubbling. No idea why there's doing that, because there's zinc to be reacted with. Now I add the penny, and you can almost immediately see that it's not reacting. Now, that's odd because the zinc and the hydrochloric acid tend to react pretty quickly and pretty obviously. And instead, on the sides of the penny, you can see bubbles coalescing. Now you can also see here in this next shot, a few seconds later, there is some blue copper precipitate, salt, solid, whatever it is, on a penny that was previously added into the solution and not the one I just added. I'm not sure why the copper is reacting here, because as far as I know, it shouldn't be, but it is. And you can also see that the copper plating is standing on its side at the end of the shot. Now, the penny that I just added, you can see it has more bubbles on it. And the zinc inside, the zinc core of it, is still intact, and as it is not floating like the copper plate remnants that you can see at the top of the solution, just floating there, going around. And you can also see the black inside of the copper plated zinc. I'm not sure why it's black, I just think it's cool. And you can also see that there's more blue in the solution as it is dissolved. Now in the 4 times speed, this one is my favorite, and I apologize that it wasn't being held still. But either way, that backflip looks pretty cool. I sped it up because it is harder to watch, of course. You can see that the penny that I just added was hardly reacting. I believe it is the bottom right one, and you can tell that it is mostly, if not completely intact. And in this next shot, this was after I swirled it some more, and the solid, whatever it is just doing whatever it does, is just hanging out. And it was at this point where the solution definitely adopted more of a blue hue, characteristic of having a copper salt dissolved in it. My guess is that it's copper chloride, as I don't know what else it could be in there. But this does beg the question, what happened to the zinc? It should still be dissolved in there. And as far as I'm aware, there's no blue zinc solution. I don't know why, but I think my only guess at this point, being no expert whatsoever, is that the zinc is indeed dissolved into the solution, but there was just so much excess acid that it allowed the copper and hydrogen peroxide to mess around with the copper, and the zinc might have just hung out in solution. Now I swirl this up some more, and you can see that it's got like this cloudy blue tint to it. It's harder to see, I know. I checked on it a few days after this, after letting it sit for a while, and it did this exact same thing. And watching the copper matter settle is very satisfying, but I didn't get all of it on camera because I'm impatient as can be. I checked on it later, and it just stayed this cloudy blue after I swirled it. So I just found that very interesting, and I've got plenty of pennies, so I can keep doing this experiment to try to hollow another one out like I did last summer. That turned out pretty awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my first video. Let me know if you want this type of content more, I'll be sure to show off the flamethrower in another video.